Okay, we have a single plane setup here. It's in pretty good position. The red line represents the swing plane as described by the shaft angle, and the white line is the spine angle. And we run it from the hip up through the ear. Her tendency is to pull up and out of the shot. So let's see if we can see when that happens. So as we go back, she stays pretty good till about waist high, and then the head starts to pull away from the ball. Watch this. Here we go. Head's pulling away. Little lifting going on. Even more lifting. More lifting. Now she's lifted several inches away from the golf ball. Now when she comes back down, she doesn't quite make that contact back to the white line without sliding too far forward. So you can see she's out of position a little bit here. And look how much higher her hands are than they were at setup. So the club is going to be higher off the ground. You can see the club is above the level of the golf ball. Notice how the hip now has moved in, so the spine is no longer on the same angle it was at setup. So what's happened here is if we look right here. That's where the hip was at setup. We'll back it up to the setup position and you'll see what I mean. We talk a lot about golf and how golf and life have some similarities. Well, my grandfather always said that in life and in golf, butt out is a good thing. So stick your butt out, keep your butt out, and see if we can maintain our hip at the same line it was to begin with, that we don't pull away from the ball by moving our butt. See how far in the butt is moved? And that's why she's pulling in and unable to release the club head. Now one other thing we're going to notice, I'm going to clear everything out of the way here, and I want you to take a look at where the club is at the top of the backswing. We want the handle of the club to be pointing directly at the camera. Notice that it's pointing way off. Whoops, that's the wrong kind of a thing here. It's pointing way off on this line over here. We want it pointing straight back at the camera. That means that she's in a place that can reroute the club back to the ball easier. Now, the couple of things to work on is to work with somebody to grab the club head when it reaches the apex or the top of the swing and move it back to where it belongs. So in other words, you're going to move the club head so it's more on this line here, so it's more parallel to the target line. See, if that's the target line, parallel to her feet, the line the shaft is on should be parallel to that too. Now, in terms of moving the butt of the head, one of the things my grandfather had me do was simply put my head up against a wall and then practice swinging. Did it first without a golf club, obviously, because I didn't want to be hitting anything, and just swing and learn how to keep my head in that same position. Then later he would put a club alongside my ear or on top of my head, and I would swing the golf club, and finally I would hit balls. That's very important to do. Also, I believe that the greater concentration we have on the ball, the less we're going to move our head, because it's going to lose our focus to the ball. So work real hard on maintaining the spine angle. And then the last thing we're going to take a look at in here, we'll get everything out of the way again, is we're going to look at what happens as she hits the ball and see how she's moving laterally and her hands are coming up. What happens now is she comes here, she's not bad, but she never releases the club over. She stays underneath and pulls the hands in. You see right now, we should see the hands out about here somewhere to where they're turning down the line so that she's able to extend the arms through and past the golf ball. Good luck.